I am frequently asked about who is responsible for any casualty loss to a property during a seller temporary residential leaseback, the buyer or the seller. As you know, the seller's temporary residential leaseback is not the typical lease. It was drafted to provide for delayed possession after closing. The lease states that the seller shall bear all expense for repairing and maintaining the property. However, does that cover casualty insurance? What happens if the property is damaged through casualty loss such as hail or windstorm, tornado, or flood? Paragraph 16 of the seller's temporary residential leaseback specifically states, landlord, who is the buyer, and tenant, who is the seller, shall each maintain such insurance on the contents and property as each may deem appropriate during the term of the lease. Note, consult your insurance agent. Possession of the property by seller as tenant may change insurance policy coverage. It is critical that your seller and buyer consult with their insurance agent and address the temporary leaseback to make sure there is adequate coverage. Seller needs to make sure that his homeowner's policy will cover his personal effects if there is loss, even though he or she is no longer the homeowner. When speaking with my personal casualty insurance agent, I was told that my policy has a 30-day transition period, meaning it will cover my contents under a 30-day temporary lease without any modification to my policy. If the lease is greater than 30 days, the policy needs to be modified to a renter's policy in order to insure my personal contents. The seller's policy, once he or she is no longer the homeowner, will not cover the structure if there is a casualty loss. Buyer needs to have insurance in place. But there may be a modification to his policy that will be necessary due to the fact that the buyer will not be occupying the property for a period of time. Each party needs to check the coverages of their policy prior to closing. It is usually a simple modification at minimal cost to make sure buyer and seller have proper coverage under their casualty insurance. A simple modification not made could be costly if a loss occurs. Thank you for listening and sharing your questions with me. Allegiance Title is your trusted resource for results. Thank you.